Steamed fish is such a healthy recipe to make and enjoy. It's moist and tasty. Let's make some steamed fish. This is gonna be whole fish. You can use the fillet if you like. If this is your first time here, hello, I am Melanie. I love cooking and gardening. So if this is for you, subscribe and turn on the bell for weekly Asian home cooked gardening and more. So I'm going to pair this with my steamed rice. So just get some rice and add some water and pop this rice in the rice cooker while I'm making the rest of my recipe. Let's talk about the steamer. I have a very large wok here. If you have a steamer, that would be good, but I'm going to show you how I'm using a large wok. My wok will be enough for the fish, so it will stay inside completely. If not, just cut it in half. And I just happen to have this, and I'll be cover the water at the bottom about that much, about an inch and a half. And just put the plate on there and put the fish in. If you don't have the metal rack like that, this is how you can use it. I used to do this all the time when I was growing up. Way back, when there was no rack or anything. We just have to make do with what we have. And this is how I used to do it for so many years. And that will keep the fish above the water, and the fish does not get all soaked in the water where all the flavor will stay in the fish instead of in the water. And you want the fish flavors, you're not going to eat the water. So get you a large lid. If you don't have a lid, I didn't have this giant lid just now, but way back when. So there's other ways that you can have something to cover it up. I used to do this with the aluminum foil. I don't have a large aluminum foil, so I just use two. You just need something to cover up the fish while it trap up the steam while it's cooking in there. Just be careful if you cook with open flame. Don't have too much of the aluminum foil hanging around. Just trim them up and put a watch on it. For this size wok, I usually need two before I had that big lid. I also make a little indents inside the rim so that if any moisture that condense up will drip inside the wok instead of on the outside. So I'm going to add my water in here, about an inch and a half because the rack is about a couple of inches tall. I have about a large size of ginger. This is about my hand. It's probably about 2 inches by 3 inches wide. But if you love ginger, get more. If you don't like it, get less. It's up to you. The more is the better, in my opinion. And to slice them up with a bunch of onion. I sliced these up about 1/8 of an inch or so, thinly sliced, and julienne them up, shredded them up. I'm going to sprinkle this on top for garnish. And this is optional if you don't like ginger that much, but I love ginger. So I also cut these into a quarter size or an inch size, and just give it a couple of whacks to release the aroma, and then set it aside. Cut your onion. I'm just going to use the white part, and the roots I'm going to add it to my garden for some more onions in the future. Shred the onions. I forgot to video, but sorry about that. And dried up your fish, and I sprinkle about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you're light salty, add a little bit more, but I'm just gonna add a 1/4 for a couple of fish here. These are striped bass. Also do the inside just lightly. I like it to be light. Add just some big whacked ginger in there to have all that flavor infused inside the fish and outside. I also laid a couple of pieces at the bottom and lay your fish on there and put a few on the top. Put your fish inside, make sure everything is tucked in, and turn on the heat high. You could have turned on the heat high while you're doing all this. Let's talk about the sauce. You can use the seafood soy sauce, or you can use a regular soy sauce. And I'm using a half a teaspoon of sugar and a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of soy sauce. You can use either one. And stir it up. This is for 2 fish. If your fish are larger, you know, adjust it. And if it's more sauce, it's fine. If it's less sauce, you know, you can dash it a little bit more later. It's no big deal. But what I'm looking for is a little bit light, a little with sweetness. Not too sweet, but a little sweetness. And in 10 to 15 minutes, depends on the size of your fish. My fish probably took about 15 minutes. Remove all the ginger that was inside the fish and take it out. Remove the ginger on the inside also, unless you like to eat those. Add you a little bit of oil, a couple of tablespoons of oil on a pan. Heat it up. In the meantime, let's sprinkle some of this garnish on here, some ginger and some shredded onion. Why not? Just dump it all on there. I love onions. I also add me a crushed garlic, but it's up to you. I mean, I love garlic, so I always trying to add a little bit here and there. It's good for your heart. Well, it's good for my heart. And I just throw that potion in there real quick, turn off the heat, and go, 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 go. Sprinkle it on there, pour it on there. All that sizzling will make it so flavorful. And that's it, guys. Look at that. It looks so beautiful. If you're a saucy person, you know, you can dash a little bit more soy sauce. But I think it's wonderful like this. This was a New Year day, so we had a couple of fish dishes and some black-eyed peas and whatnot. So it's very easy. Look at that. See how moist that is. Oh, I forgot to mention, when the fish eyes are opaque, you know it's done. That's one trick to see if the fish is done cooked. And the fish should be moist like this when you steam. Dip it on the little sauce. It is so good. I paired this with some rice, steamed rice. This doesn't have to be on a New Year day. We can eat this any time of the year when you have some good fresh fish. You know, if you are a fisherman or your spouse loves to fish or whatnot, this could be a very yummy dish when you get a fresh caught. So check out my videos in the description box below for oolong sea bass recipe. I also have a recipe for baked salmon for you if you're a fish lover. I hope you find this video helpful. Share it with someone who needs it, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up to let me know. If you enjoy Vietnamese Asian food and gardening, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the bell for weekly video. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!